Okay, so let's start with this. We have on horses either birth defects, deformity from too early start on the saddle, either English or Western. Thoroughbreds off the truck, sometimes sold to hunter jumper dressage riders, and they started at 1.5 years old. So at 20 months, the horses developed here. So if we have so many horses who are bought by the track or come from the Western maturity, and then passed on later, all these horses which survived, they unfortunately come already with a lot of deformity. So when do I start fitting a horse? The minute I put the saddle on. Let's say you didn't buy a horse from the racetrack or one from the Western world where they started so early. Let's say you waited until it was 3.5. At 3.5 years old, this is what is finished developed, which means the scapular hasn't developed until it's 4 years old. And then, of course, 5 and 6, that's the last area, what we call the spinal vertebra, the growth plates on the spine. There's 32. So needless to say, right away, because most likely the skeleton, the growth capsule haven't been closing, and they're still getting to the bone stage. So there is the easiest answer is as soon as you can, all the time, because just like us, we are not maintaining our body the same. Okay, and what happens when you get these horses and you don't fit them right? Horses get transitional vertebrae, or they compensate. The first and two ribs here on the left, you can see them grown together versus the right side. Or look at the bone structure here on the humerus, how much different that left side is versus the right side. So then you have just a situation you cannot fix anymore. And that's why I constantly a big component by fitting a horse orthopedically, or also known as asymmetric, because you cannot straighten bones anymore. And if the saddle doesn't fit the rider properly, it's just a vicious cycle. So many people still riding in the non-appropriate sex saddle. In other words, a female riding in a male saddle. And I'm not talking about ladies should ride in the side saddles. Any human what is born with a birth channel needs to have her saddle fit her pelvis, which is a massive a problem in our industry. But back to the question, it has to fit as early as you can. As soon as you ride, get the saddle fitted.